Welcome to the podcast of School Beyond Limitations. In this podcast, you will learn how to guide your child through their school life with the intention to help them find their unique essence that will allow your daughter, your son to live a fulfilled and meaningful life. Allow your child to be unique and free. My name is Dr. Martina. I'm the co-founder, CEO, and developer of School Beyond Limitations. If you would like to see your child living a fulfilled and happy life, then this is the right channel. Yes, allow your child to be unique and free. It seems to be easy, but it's not necessarily if I am not open to allow my child to actually find their inner essence. So first and foremost, I think it is very, very important for children to be seen, to be heard, and to be followed with their energies. And as a parent, I need to make time. I need to be there for my child. And if you now observe parents very often nowadays, we notice that parents get easily distracted when they are with their children. They get distracted by their iPhones, they get distracted by other things. And I think it's very, very important for a child to realize that my mother, my father, the person who is actually with me, sees me, follows my energy, follows my interests. And that's, in my view, the most important thing. Loving the child by showing that I care, I have time for them, I make time for them, I follow their uniqueness, because it's interesting. Children are very curious, right? And if they are curious and I see where their energy flows, then as a parent and as an educator, if I open up that space and I go with that flow and I provide the child with lots of opportunities to dive deeper into science, into music, into ballet, into lots of different activities that I see that the child is really interested in, then I open this space and the child can find out. And again, it depends on the personality of your child. There are, as I mentioned in a different episode, we use human design as one of the resources that help us understand whether a child is a sacral child, has a sacral authority. In this case, for instance, I know that this child has to undergo lots of different experiences, and if I do not provide my child with those experiences, then the child can't make sense, can't make a decision on the basis of what they would like to do. If, for instance, a child craves for playing the piano and I don't allow my child to play the piano because maybe I don't have the time, or I find other excuses, so to speak, then the child will never understand whether this is something for him or for her. So I really believe it's important to allow the children to undergo these experiences, to find out. And by observing my child, I see whether this is something that they really blossom in and blossom with. And if I see that they are getting into the flow, then I provide them with these activities, with these experiences. If, for instance, I see that a child is really into football, and I see that in those moments my child forgets about any problems, they are just immersed in this activity, then I will do anything for this child to go there. And allow your child to live this uniqueness, and let's see all the things, all the activities that they are doing out of a space of limitless possibilities. So if I'm myself as a parent or as an educator, say, for instance, as an example, the football player, you can't become a football player because it costs too much money, then I'm limiting this child from doing this experience. And if I'm opening up instead, and if I say, oh, Well, maybe that's a possibility for my child to become a professional football player or a professional piano player or professional artist. Then I would look into possibilities and spaces in order for my child to grow into that kind of role and by allowing my child, for instance, to take part in a team, by looking for possibilities also with regards to the schooling. How can I create the school experience around the interests of my child? So it's very important. And then of course there's also, in order to be free, there is sometimes this misconception about freedom, that my child has to do everything without any boundaries around it. I think as an educator, and also as a parent, we also need to provide a child with a specific structure, with a specific idea of how can I build up resilience. I go through experiences, but if I have immediately, I'm just making now an example, a clear understanding as a child, this is not for me. I'm going to climb, for instance, and I realize this is not for me at all, then I don't have to insist. But if I see that a child is attracted to climbing, for instance, but there are just some elements and because it's still fearful or whatsoever, then I can help build up this confidence within the child by doing it more often, by being more resilient, by doing it every day, by bringing it in. It's like reading also. If I allow my child to read every day, and if I go with the flow, I just had a conversation with a family right now of a 5-year-old who said our son was already interested in writing the letters at the age of 3. Of course, I go with this energy. If I would stop then and I would say, no, it's not the right time because you are too young, then I'm actually cutting this curiosity within the child, the intrinsic, curiosity that is there. So what is very important? I need to love means creating time for my child, showing interest for my child, understanding that uniqueness is there for a specific reason. Each and every one, I believe, and we at School Beyond Limitations believe, each and every one has a unique essence, has a blueprint within themselves. And this essence, if I bring that into reality, then I'm not doing it only for myself. I'm doing it for the collective. I'm doing it for society. And if a child understands that what their uniqueness is actually important, their uniqueness makes the difference, not only for themselves, but also for a group or a collective, then they are on the right path. And then of course I need to have time. I need to help them with structure and understanding that there is a framework that allows them to to experience themselves within a safe space. Let's call it a safe space. I don't just let go of everything. I'm actually there to guide this young human being in the process of finding out. They will go here and there, but I can show them how to keep, focused on what they bring to the table. So, and then there is love, there's the understanding of growth mindset. Everything is possible. I can go beyond limitations, because the only limitations that we set for ourselves and for our children are in ourselves. So there is much more we can do, and we have lots of examples out there that have shown us and that can also function as role models or as inspiration. You go in your direction. You have a dream, you go in your direction. And as a parent and as an adult, we are there to support that to happen, but by setting boundaries that are boundaries of a safe space. So, and this is also what we are doing at School Beyond Limitations. And we invite you to get in touch with us if you think that you would like to have a school environment like School Beyond Limitations that nurtures their students with regards to their uniqueness and with regards to their freedom, because freedom comes into place when I know how to use that freedom and how to live within this free and safe space. And you find the website of School Beyond Limitations in the description. At School Beyond Limitations, we support our students find their unique essence. Feel free to share the content of this podcast with other parents. We are here to show that your children can indeed bring their unique essence into life. So, reach out to us if you think that this is what you'd like your daughter, your son to experience, or apply through our website. Also, leave your comments, your questions, or your review about the podcast. Share it with others. And, as you know, sharing is caring.